Notice in any area of your life, if you set out to accomplish something, there is some part of you that's keeping you stuck or holding you back from moving forward. My inner saboteur is kicking in, and it's because I'm so close to having something that I deeply desire. It can look like procrastination, it can look like laziness, it can look like perfectionism. It can disguise itself as so many different character traits, but the fact of the matter is those are all judgments, which actually make it even more difficult to accomplish the goals that we set after. And this is such an important topic that I think doesn't really get enough airtime. We're going to talk about how we sabotage ourselves. So, if you're someone who is on a personal development journey, healing journey, and you are someone who is really looking for guidance and advice in terms of how to improve your situation in life, whether you want to make more money, you want to have better relationships, you want to improve your career, whatever choices you're looking to manifest. Okay, so if you are intentionally trying to create something better for yourself, there is something that we need to deal with, which is our internal saboteur. Now, the reason I refer to it as a saboteur is because it really is the unconscious part of you that is blocking you from having what you want. Now, one might ask, why would any part of me block me from having something that I want? Because that part of you that's referred to as the saboteur is really only doing one thing. It's trying to keep you safe. Okay, so this is something that happened in childhood. As I often talk about, during these broadcasts and in my evergreen videos, we talk about early childhood conditioning and how our early caregiver environment really sets up our belief system so that we are consciously, unconsciously manifesting the circumstances of our lives. And so the inner work is really about examining our beliefs, both conscious and unconscious, to see how we can unblock ourselves. Now, dealing with your inner saboteur means learning to feel safe and also learning how to feel deeply worthy of what it is that you desire. Notice in any area of your life, if you set out to accomplish something, perhaps you set out to improve your health or get a raise or, set up a business or whatever your goals are, notice if there is some part of you that's keeping you stuck or holding you back from moving forward. Okay. That part of you that's holding you back is not, it can look like procrastination. It can look like laziness. It can look like perfectionism. It can look like, lack of commitment, like changing your mind all the time, the inability to follow through. It can disguise itself as so many different character traits, but the fact of the matter is those are all judgments, right? So I'm lazy, I'm inconsistent, or I'm not committed to my goals. These are all judgments that we hold ourselves in, which actually make it even more difficult to accomplish the goals that we set after. So we want to meet ourselves with compassion. We want to let go of the judgment and meet ourselves with unconditional love and compassion, and acknowledge that if I'm showing up in these ways, or if these are the traits that I'm demonstrating, then my inner saboteur is alive and well. It's kicking in, and it's because I'm so close to having something that I deeply desire, or I've touched upon something that I deeply desire, and that part of me is really just trying to keep me safe from pain, from rejection, from abandonment, and from failure. Nobody wants to feel those things, right? That's part of the reason why we come for readings, we come for guidance, we come for connection. We want messages from the spirit realm, from our loved ones, because we want to feel that sense of connection, that sense of love, support, and reassurance and peace, right? And so all of this work can be very uplifting and empowering, and yet when we're not addressing our own inner saboteur, this guidance and this feel good energy that we create in these moments is only temporary. Okay, so it's very important, especially if you're someone who has goals, if you're looking to improve your circumstances, whatever your situation is, it's important to take a look at the part of you that is keeping you safe from having your needs met, from having what it is that you truly want, because you're afraid of experiencing the pain of rejection or abandonment or failure. These are feelings that you had in childhood, and it's so painful to feel those, right? So we want to guard ourselves and protect ourselves from going there. And this is an unconscious process, right? So the way to become aware of how we sabotage ourselves is just take one goal that you have, one deep desire that you want to make manifest, something that you want to bring into tangible evidence, and notice what shows up for you whenever you try to work on that goal or make time for that goal or put your energy towards it. Notice what shows up for you. Notice your beliefs, notice the feelings in your body that are stirred up as a result of those beliefs. The feelings create beliefs, and beliefs create feelings, and they feed into each other to create a pattern of operating, right? An overall frequency. As I talk about almost every week, we talk about our energy and how our energy affects the outcome. And this is especially true when you're receiving readings, psychic readings, intuitive guidance, mediumship connections. How you feel in the moment when you're receiving the reading really kind of opens you up and allows you to experience love and some uplifting energy. And then once the reading is done, if you go back into your unconscious self, if you go back into your natural way of operating, we usually shut down and go into fear and panic and worry, and that affects the outcome. Okay, so it's very important. If you're receiving guidance tonight, if you're watching live or watching the replay, if you're getting your questions answered, or if you're simply listening to other people getting their questions answered, pay attention to what happens for you in these conversations. Do you hear yourself? Do you feel like a chord is being struck in you that allows you to sort of become more aware of how you might sabotage yourself in certain areas of your life? If there's something that you deeply desire, notice if there's a limiting belief or a deep feeling of unworthiness that shows up as you contemplate the thing, whether it's a family you want, or a career, or more money, or better health, or whatever it is your deepest desire is. Notice if there's a deep feeling of unworthiness that might show itself, and this is what you're protecting yourself from. So again, self-sabotaging behaviors look like procrastination. They look like laziness. It looks like perfectionism. It looks like being super judgmental of yourself and others. These are all character traits that are not natural to who we are. We have developed these traits as a way to keep ourselves safe and keep ourselves stuck in an old paradigm that allows us to stay small and protected. And keep in mind that you cannot keep yourself safe and be fully self-expressed in the world at the same time. It's just not possible. Okay. We have to make a decision that if I'm going to be fully self-expressed, I'm going to take risks. I'm going to expose myself. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to share myself fully with the world and trust that whatever comes from that authentic self-expression is what's meant for you. And whatever doesn't come from that authentic self-expression is not what's meant for you. And that's okay. All right. So I really want you tonight, my message for you is to pay attention to your inner saboteur, the part of you that you have been perhaps judging and beating yourself up for, or being very critical of, that is really just trying to keep you safe. And learn to meet it with compassion, with non-judgment, with unconditional love and acceptance. The same way you would have compassion for a small child, right? Who was afraid of making a mistake, or a small child who's afraid of learning a new skill or something because they're afraid of getting hurt, and so on. That same level of compassion, if we have that for ourselves, we give ourselves an opportunity to really heal, to regulate our nervous system, to come into alignment, and to find the courage within ourselves to take that next step, or to venture out into whatever it is that we deeply desire, so that we can make our dreams come true. Okay. And this is why we're all here. We're here to fulfill our destiny. We're here to experience deep fulfillment and deep inner peace with this human life, and find success in all areas. Okay. And I'm committed to channeling the guidance that you need to allow that to happen for you.